You can do it all one way, but I'm going to show you all the different ways on one little pot. That's what that example is. So I'm going to take my cut-off wire, and because this is a small pot, I have to think about it. So I don't know how to do it over here, because you have to do it in front of you. So if you want to go behind me and watch, that's fine. So I know where my bevel undercut here, and I know where I indented it. So that's that 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to hold it, and I'm going to go straight down. You see that bevel? Okay. So now, well, that's kind of fun. I can do that all the way around the pot and make a, like a hexagon or whatever is more than a hexagon. Or, let's say I want to get a little jazzy, okay? A little jazzy. So now what I can do is start at the top, and I can move to the right, move to the left, move to the right, move to the left, move to the right, etc. So now I've got, woohoo, like look at all that fun little textures. It's saucy. Okay, a little sauciness. Okay, so I can do a lot with just this wire. Well, so let's see what happens with this. This is going to do the same thing. It just is a cheese grater tool. So it's going to be the same thing. So I'm going to go down, I'm going to find where I need to go, and I'm going to go straight down. Okay. And I can do the same thing here. And I'm moving it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So guess what the deal is? You have to know how thick your pots are. So guess what? If you're throwing thick pots and you're trimming so much, guess what might be your best friend? So now, L-Wigo wire. And this is a pretty sprung wiggle wire. Some of them are even tighter. I don't know anybody that smokes anymore. So now I have a Lay's potato chip. Okay, Ruffles. Okay, so that's kind of fun. So what about if I do then, oh, look at that! You gotta make noise. Not nearly as fun if you don't make noise. Okay. But now, there's even more things that people will do with this technique. I just went straight up and down. And I'm gonna encourage y'all to try one. This is just a lot of fun. But now, I don't have to go straight up and down. So I could take my points, and instead of going straight up and down, I can go on an angle. Woo! So let's go here. I'm going to take this. And so here's my point. But what's going to happen is I would also have my lines on the bottom here. So what's going to happen is that I want to do it the same width across, but I'm going to go on an angle. Oh, that must be really tricky here. Okay, so let's take it right across. I'll do my wiggle here. Would have to start here, and it would go over this way. Okay. Let's take this one. I would actually have to start about here, and it would actually wind up then over here. So now, if that isn't just fun as can be, making fascinated little pots, I could go in, put my little bevel back underneath it. I can even go back in now and say, well, I want to do something a little more with my rim. Okay, I'm not going to touch that, but now I'm just going to give it a little bit of water, and now I can even pull it out just a little bit more. Well, now I got a cup, if you ask me. Ah, isn't that fun? That'd be a cup. But now, that's not all. Like everything else we do, we can give it volume and and stretch the clay. Now you have to remember how thick you are. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that clay going around, and I know I need a little bit of water, not too much, I don't wanna over soak it. I'm gonna go in, and I tend to do it right in front of me, so I'm gonna put my sponge in the inside, and I'm gonna push towards me. Just slowly, 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 pushing towards me. So now I'm stretching it. And one of the exciting things that can happen, if you make really thick pots and you do this and then you stretch it outwards, they're going to continue their journey around too. So that's really cool. That's as far as I can push mine. Because I felt it, I could feel that there's one little thin spot. So now I really have this fabulous little jar. God, I could make a lid for it. I could put a little cork on it. I could put all my swear words in there. You know, and so now I have this cute little jar. And everybody's going to say, how did your potter make a square pot? And you're going to say, oh, I'm not telling. But that's just a lot of fun. Now there's more things, but we're going to move on. I can't show you everything right away.